everyone. This is Paula Amaker with Silver Moves Living, and today I have a special guest with me. This is Charna, and Charna works with Moyer Move Management. And today we're going to be discussing how a move manager is much different than your typical mover. So let's get right in it. Charna, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself at Moyer Move Management.
All right, Charna Kemberg. I have been in this industry almost 23 years at this point.
Wow.
I'm a move manager. I'm one of the founders of the National Association of Senior Move Managers, which means I've been around for a long time.
Yes, very experienced.
Yes. I sold my own company to Moyer almost 2 years ago, and they bought my company because they wanted to have a presence in the Baltimore area and expand.
Oh, really? So it's been 2 years now.
December will be 2 years, so we're almost there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm an executive vice president. I gave up QuickBooks, I gave up staffing, and I build the client base and do whatever needs to be done to help build our reputation in this area. And you're a big part of it.
Yes, I am, and I am definitely honored and pleased to be a part of that as well, because a lot of my clients are often looking for move management to help them through the moving process. So I have a few questions that a number of past clients and potential clients have asked of me. So I thought this would be a great opportunity for me just to go over their questions and ask you, okay?
Sure, go for it.
All right, so they would like to know, can you start by explaining what exactly a move manager is and how is that different from a typical move company?
Sure can. So here's what happens. You're in your 20s and you're going to move, and you call up 10 of your friends and they bring pickup trucks, and you order pizza and beer.
Yeah.
Then you get to your 30s, 40s, and it's like, this wasn't a whole lot of fun, but you're still doing it, and maybe you're doing all the packing, and then you maybe rent a truck instead of using those pickup trucks. Then the next thing you know is you're in your 40s, 50s, and you remember that this really wasn't a lot of fun.
You can say
So
that
then
again.
and maybe you hire a mover, but you still have to pack and unpack. And then either your parents are moving or you've hit your 60s, 70s, and beyond, and you remember that you really didn't like all that other stuff you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what a move manager does is everything that surrounds the move, whether it's creating a floor plan so you don't bring 4 times as much stuff as you need to.
Which is important.
Oh yeah. Packing with the understanding that somebody has to unpack. So if I'm a mover and I come in, I'm going to start at one corner and I'm going to pack like crazy, and I'm going to get to the other corner. I'm packing for density and speed. A move manager says, where does that go? And how do I reassemble it? So if you have 10 lamps and 10 lampshades and 10 finials and 10 harps, when you get to the other side, with the way we do things, you know exactly how things are put together. If you have a china cabinet, you know exactly how things are constructed in that china cabinet. So it's a lot of attention to detail. It's handling things like in DC, the parking permits,
Right.
the certificates of need that some of the big buildings need. It's all those crazy details that hang everybody up and drive everybody crazy. So that's what a move manager does.
Oh, wonderful. Those sounds like some very critical things that you need to have in place.
Making sure the elevator is available.
Absolutely. Don't want to get there and it's not. No one wants to chuck things up the stairs. Okay. What specific service do you offer to help make the process smoother for my senior clients?
Everything. When we go in, there's a free consultation, and then we're sitting down, just like we are right now.
Did I hear you say free consultation? Free.
Most people don't object to free.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. Most people don't. But really, the idea is to sit down and say, okay, Paula, where are you right now? What's your support system? What do you need? Where are you thinking about moving? Oh, you don't know? Do you need somebody to help you? Do you have a realtor? You've been in this house how long? No? Maybe we need to get you in touch with Paula. So it's finding out where they're at. It's piercing that bubble that people don't know even exists of services that are available, and trying to understand what they need and how to get them there.
And a lot of times, some people don't even know what questions to ask. They don't know what they don't know. So having you come in and explain all of these different steps of moving from point A to point B is very crucial.
Yeah, we try to head them off with the problems. I remember going into one person's home and sitting down, and the son had mapped out a floor plan. And I sat there thinking, now how do I tell him that this is not going to work? And it was things like, well, if she could get into the bedroom because you got a piece of furniture in the doorway, then her choice in the bedroom was either to shimmy over the end of the bed or crawl over the side over a blanket chest. And yeah, he accomplished what his mother wanted. She wanted to have all the furniture that she currently had in her new home. From a safety standpoint, it was a problem. So a lot of times it's really kind of digging through to find out what they have done, what they need to get done, and what they really don't realize that they need assistance with.
So you raise a very important point. It's not just getting the furniture moved to wherever their new living space is going to be. It's about making sure the furnishings that they want to bring with them, that they have enough space to maneuver between them. So this may be a situation of someone, like you just mentioned, wanting to take all of these pieces of furniture, but not understanding, hey, this may not be the best safety feature for you.
And it may not be the best safety feature for you in 5 years. It could be fine now. But if you see them progressing down the road of aging, none of us seem to get any better as we age.
No, it just gets worse.
Wiser sometimes, but not physically better. We have to work really hard to stay where we're at.
Right.
So when you take a look at the possibility of needing a wheelchair or a walker or even canes, and there's throw rugs that are going down, coffee tables are tripping hazards, some people are more than welcome to make their own decisions. We do at least give them a heads up and saying, if you're trying to age in place in your new place, then these are some things to consider.
Okay, that's very important. That's definitely a critical point that makes you different from a typical mover, because they wouldn't care. They would just get your things
Stuff
moved
goes
in.
out, stuff goes in. Doesn't matter if it's to the ceiling.
Doesn't matter.
No.
All right, next question. Just like you said, I imagine that this, of course, moving someone, there's a lot of emotion involved, because, of course, with the seniors, it's not like those first-time home buyers who's all excited about, purchasing their home and moving, or not even a growing family who's looking to purchase a bigger home. Oftentimes with our seniors, they've been in their homes 20, 30, 40, some over 50 years. So for them to have to pack up, they're packing up their life. That's not necessarily yay, I'm getting older and need a smaller space. So how do you help seniors through this emotional aspect of moving?
First of all, moving for anybody is one of the top 3 stressors in our lives. So even if you're, yay, I'm buying a new home, there's always something that's going on, whether or not the kids are sick and now you're going to be moving and I still haven't finished packing, or yeah, I told my husband to pack the garage, but he kind of didn't get to it yet and the movers are coming tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
So actually some of our services can be used by anybody. But for the older adults, it's a different thing.
It is.
A lot of times somebody has a physical impairment and they're having to move, or sometimes there are issues with memory loss. And a lot of times you have a couple, I call it 2 bodies and 1 complete human. So one's more physically fit and the other one is more cognitively fit, and together they make 1 functional individual.
Okay, teamwork.
Teamwork, yeah. So the idea is understanding where they're at and designing the new home to feel like home, and to take into account the emotional needs and the physical needs, and understanding that it is stressful. So we keep our salespeople involved from the beginning to the very end. So there's a single point of contact. When they're stressed out, they don't have 5 different people to call. They call their salesperson, and they talk it over and they understand. And we have a lot of hand-holding in the process so that things go as smoothly as possible.
That is important to know, that you take the time. It sounds like you guys really pay attention to detail, and you are you express empathy in these situations.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. We do give hugs.
Oh, you do have great. Is it true that you guys actually take pictures of a client's home and try to replicate that in their new living space?
Oh boy, do we take pictures.
Oh wow.
Oh boy, we take pictures of individual pieces of furniture. We take pictures of the rooms from 4 different angles. We take pictures of a curio cabinet, top to bottom. We label things like crazy. We're label fiends, because if you're taking something and you want it replicated, the only way to replicate it is to take pictures and to indicate where things are. So there's lots of pictures, and it also helps in any number of places where somebody will claim, well, this table had a scratch in it, and we can validate that or we can deny it because we have pictures. It can, somebody will say, well, I had such and such in a curio cabinet and don't remember that they had given it to the daughter or the son, and then we have a picture that shows that the curio cabinet definitely didn't have that item in it.
Okay.
Or if it did, we can go back through the paper and see what happened to the piece, although we're usually pretty careful about even labeling, putting marks on paper so we know what's in there.
I love that. And I could understand how this helps older adults, you know, the day of moving. You guys go in, you pack, you load, you move to the new location, unpack, so that this way the senior client or the older adult never has to have a day of not sleeping in their bed, not coming back to a place where they have to unpack everything.
Yeah, we try our best.
Okay.
A lot of times we'll do moves over 2 days. Mainly because after about 6 hours, all they want to see is the back of this thing heading out the door. So sometimes we make arrangements for them to stay at a relative's home, or maybe if they're moving into one of the communities, into a guest suite, so that they can have a decent day. And again, it's that stress level that we have to keep in mind. If I have some physical issues, or if I have memory issues, and somebody's in my home for 7, 8, 9 hours, it gets exhausting.
Yes.
So depending on the move, we may do it in 1 day, or we may do it in 2 days, or we might have even a more extensive time frame if it's a huge move and we're trying to downsize them and get them into a new place.
Oh, well, that's great that you guys even take the time to even take those things into consideration.
Have to. Oh, we have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, once the move is done, what do you do to help seniors get settled into their new homes? We kind of touched on that.
We touched on that, but there's another part, and that's what about all the rest of the stuff?
Yeah, what about all the rest of the stuff? Okay, my stuff is going to my new place, but what about the stuff that isn't?
Usually, with some frequency, our clients say, well, my daughter's going to take this, and my son's going to take that, and my niece is going to take that, and the kids are like, oh. So, a lot of times what we'll try to do, especially if they're working with a great realtor like you, is to say, hey, Paula, can we keep the stuff in the house just a couple of days? And a lot of times we'll work it out. So we'll tell the kids, come on in, pick whatever you want, let us know. If it's something that we can deliver to them in the process of getting the move done, we'll do that too.
Okay.
So we can, they want the grand piano, sure, we'll get you delivered the grand piano, or whatever it is, we can take care of that. We can even do the long distance part of it too.
Wow.
But if we're trying to work with them to get rid of the rest of the things, once the family says, I've had enough, then we have resources to get things either sold or taken to donation, or if it's just trash, then it'll go to the dump.
Oh wow, that's wonderful to know.
Yeah.
So someone can schedule a move, not just to move them into wherever their new location is, but you can also schedule it to, hey, take that grand piano or the china cabinet and everything and deliver that to my sister or my brother.
That's right. Even refrigerators. I had that recently.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful.
But let's talk about our movers.
Okay, let's talk about your movers.
This is something really different. If somebody calls us and says, or if you call us and say, I've got just a 1-bedroom apartment, they've got everything packed, can you move it? Yeah, we can just do plain moves. Or if they're coming in from out of state and they're moving here, we can take care of that too. The communities really like that because we can say it's going to be here on Tuesday, as opposed to a van line, which it's going to be delivered sometime between the 5th and the 15th. No, we'll pin it down to a specific day. The other real huge difference with our movers and our moving company, as opposed to a lot of them, is that we're not part of a big van line. We do interstate moves, but we have our employees. Our movers are all our employees on the truck.
Which is very important to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We might get qualified individuals on the other end to help, but we always have a driver at a minimum on the truck.
Okay.
So, and they know how we work. Our movers and our move managers work together. So if they're on a move management job with us, they're going to pack like a move manager. It's a good relationship. All of our stuff is protected as well. When we put something on a truck, if we're packing it and we're moving it, it's got $25,000 worth of protection at no cost to the client with a $250 deductible.
Oh.
So that's another thing that's real different about us than a lot of movers.
Oh, that's important to know.
Yeah.
One thing in which I skipped my mind earlier, you mentioned NASM. Can you just kind of explain what NASM is and why is that important for our older clients to be aware of?
Sure. Actually, it's pretty important for everybody. It's the National Association of Senior and Specialty Moves. It was founded 22 years ago. I know that because I was there. I helped found it with 16 companies, 22 people in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. And the idea was we would work better together than we would separate. So we have over 1,000 member companies now. And why it's important is because you have to abide by a code of ethics.
Code of ethics, okay.
If there is a problem, you can always go to the association and you can file a formal complaint. And our job, as I'm on the ethics committee and I'm a past president of the association, our job really with the ethics committee is education. If somebody has done something truly heinous, which doesn't happen very often, but if it's a real problem, we'll send them to the police to deal with it that way.
Okay.
Maybe once or twice in the 22 years I've had that problem, but more often than not, it's more of an educational situation where they should have done something different. They need to improve practices.
Okay.
Or maybe the practices slipped a little bit. So our goal is to educate our members to make sure that they're providing the best of the best.
That's good to know because we all know someone who has had a mover who have taken advantage of them, or your things was received at the other end, all broken up, and now you have all of these claims that you have to file, and it just established a certain level of trust.
Yeah.
Is what I'm understanding.
Well, before in the past, there were move managers and they were working independently from movers.
Okay.
And they would refer them. Now the trend seems to be, especially in this area, that movers are saying, wait a minute, we're leaving other people to do what we should be able to incorporate. Mm-hmm. So like Moyer, we have both move management and movers. And we put together one proposal, and you've got one point of contact and you've got one invoice. So it makes it easier and better for the older adults and their support system to be able to identify what they need to have done and to deal with one person to see it all does get done.
Okay. That is all great information, which is another reason why I often use Moyer Move Management to assist my clients with their move. Mm-hmm. Any last words before we wrap up?
Any last words? Well, Paula's a great realtor. Use her. Give us a call. It won't cost you anything. Mm-hmm. And we'd love to help your clients as much as we possibly can.
Absolutely. So as you can see, I hope this has answered some of your questions about the difference between a mover, the difference between a moving company and move managers. And if you or a loved one is planning their downsizing, right sizing, or looking to make that transition, I hope that you would give us a call, allow us to earn your business. I will post both of our contact information in the comment section below. And also remember, if you enjoy the information that we shared here today, like and subscribe. This is Paula Amaker with Silver Moves Living at Keller Williams. Have a great day.